Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and you're listening to 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
That's true, Steve. That's who we are. That's what we are. That's what we do. And this episode this week has been brought to you by Chase Bliss, Sinusoid,
D'Addario
Strings, Gun Street Wiring Shop. We've done an ad week here. We've had an episode every single day, and those have been our sponsors bringing you this content. Go support them. Follow the links. Go buy stuff. Even just like window shop. I don't care. Do what you do on the internet. You be you. Let's get into this ad, and let's call it a Friday, Steve.
Yep. This ad is a Black 35 Jazzmaster Shell Pink with Mastery Bridge and Flight Case, $1,100. This is a very unique, one-of-a-kind relic guitar from US-based Black 35. I had a Mastery Bridge installed in the electronics cavity, professionally shielded. Specs, whatever, alder, bolt-on maple, rosewood, shell pink, medium jumbo, C-shape, bone, 25.5, vintage 6, BLK 35 JM single coils, 3-way toggle.
Now we're going to say things.
Mastery Bridge.
And we're certainly going to say things in this video that are going to make it for sure that Black 35 will never sponsor or support the show, right? Like we're officially burning bridges this episode.
Are we now?
I mean, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, if people aren't familiar with Black 35, they're a brand that's displayed at NAMM for a couple of years now.
Yes.
And every year people come back from NAMM with just tales to tell about the guitars that they picked up and were looking at and handling and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And basically the gist is these guys are taking Squiers and Epiphones and whatever else they can get their hands on, and they're refinishing them in bizarrely unnatural relic ways, and then and then flipping them for over $1,000.
Yeah,
which I mean is something people could do on the local level, run that grift, but when you start displaying at NAMM, you start displaying your wares.
Yeah.
What is even going on? Because everyone there knows exactly what you're doing. And these, they could, maybe they've progressed beyond this sort of thing by now.
I think they do certain models that are like unique to them, but they definitely got their start, it seems, to the extent that like one of their very early.
And this person wants $1,100, basically $1,200 with shipping used.
Yeah.
Who knows what they paid new?
That might have
new in air quotes for this thing. It is definitely a Squier, right?
I mean, I can't seem to figure out how it would be anything else.
Like everything about this build screams a Squier that's been hit with a rattle can of spray paint and then attacked with sandpaper. And they brand 35 onto the headstock, like it's burned into the headstock.
Yeah.
I mean, they did throw a Mastery on it.
So the only thing I can't figure out is that it says the body is alder, and I can't seem to find a Squier Jazzmaster that's alder. But
maybe it's an MIM.
Right. So,
but even wouldn't an MIM have the rubber? Oh, I guess it does have the rubber ring in the.
Does it have a rubber ring?
Yeah, but it's got paint dripping down into it.
Okay, so this might not be a Squier then. This might be an MIM.
But even then, an MIM plus a relic paint job plus a Mastery Bridge, and it says different pickups in it.
Yeah, they're like whatever the Black 35 pickups are.
I don't feel like that warrants $1,000-something, $1,200.
Yeah,
and there's just something icky feeling about it, right?
I'm not gonna dig into this. It's definitely, it's the kind of thing where this is something that this company got caught with years ago. That's still circulating. Their claim was that it was like a one-off that they did for somebody. But it was, and that the picture wasn't supposed to be circulated or whatever.
You can look at the photos of all their stuff, and it's like you don't like commission a build of necks because they're not making their own necks.
No,
you don't commission a build of necks from an OEM and have it turn out to have the exact same rubber ring around the truss rod.
Yeah.
As a Mexican.
That black plastic is like a very specific. You do find blank necks, but I can't think of a company I've seen that has the black plastic ring.
And even if they did get parts and assemble them, there's just something really icky feeling about it, right?
Well, I think just because I think the biggest thing is, again, like there's that company history there. I feel like it sounds like I'm trying to defend them and I'm not.
Yeah.
But like I said, that very initial unit that was circulated where it was obviously a Squire. It wasn't just like, okay, so this one that we're looking at.
It's at least in Mexican.
It's at least a repainted headstock. The one that they got everyone like weirded out was just an obviously sanded headstock.
Look at this. I don't think they even took the neck off when they sprayed the body. There's pink paint on the neck.
I know
at the heel.
That's very. I don't know why.
It's a level, and there's like a paint scuff up farther on the neck. It's like they're intentionally doing the worst paint job they possibly can do, and it's not even a relic. It's like, sure, it's. They probably defend themselves and say it's their style. It's like, this is the sort of thing you could do for yourself at home. Like, you could paint your own guitar in a really sloppy way with a rattle can.
Yeah.
And then
could you slap a mastery on it?
And then yes, you could. And then you attack the edges with sandpaper and then throw a set of keys at it to get a few dings in it. Like, that's what's going on here. I'm just kind of baffled by this sort of. The thing that really baffles me is the relic wear on the pickups. No one is laying into their strings so hard that there is wear underneath the strings in big black swoops that look like they're 2 inches long underneath the pickups. The same thing for the headstock. How do you relic the paint on a headstock?
I feel like that was like trying
underneath the strings. They might as well have spray painted over the strings and the tuners.
I feel like that was like trying to mimic a cigarette burn and not really understanding how cigarettes work.
How is it even close to a cigarette burn?
Exactly.
I mean, they've got to be doing this intentionally and think that it looks cool. Who's the guy on Instagram who does like the really unique like refinishes on offsets? You know who I'm talking about? Isn't he in our group?
What's Instagram?
I can't remember his name on Instagram, but this guy like does really wild refins of offset bodies, and that guy is doing something interesting.
Yeah,
because he's doing like this decoupage, like bringing in unique like found art and really unique layered like splashes of paint that have been removed and then reapplied, and textures and things like that. This is just like, you know, that grandma that refinishes shabby chic dressers and sells them at the swap meet. Like, that's the level of refinishing that's going on here.
Wasn't your wife going to do that?
No. Not that I'm aware of anyways.
Didn't you guys have a dresser for like a long time that was like...
Yeah, we painted a dresser for my kids' room.
She's going to like shabby chic. Is it not shabby chic?
We didn't shabby chic it. We painted it. We didn't like relic it.
No, I know I remember there was like one. It might even be that same one where she was talking about doing like a shabby chic thing with it. Maybe she didn't. Maybe she ended up not doing it.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But that's what this is. 35 Guitars makes shabby chic guitars. Is there any other way to describe it?
No. What's with this avocado sticker?
The avocado sticker is the best part of it because it's actually kind of interesting and cool.
Why is the hand bleeding?
Because it cut off of something. It's like an avocado cartoon, but the pit has a bunch of eyeballs and a mouth and a tongue sticking out. I wonder if that was part of 35 Guitars' refinish of this Mexican jazzmaster, or if the previous owner did that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you think $1,200 is fair?
No.
Not in any world?
No.
I mean, consider if you took a regular Mexican jazzmaster.
Right.
And you threw a mastery onto it.
So it's
And
worth
you
like,
upgraded the pickups.
so maybe 450.
Maybe 450.
Maybe. 'Cause, I mean, I don't know what.
I
Like,
don't know. I feel
what's
like a Mexican Jazzmaster with a mastery is at least like 600.
Is it? I mean, I don't
Because aren't
know.
masteries like $300?
I thought they were like 200.
Okay. Let's call it $500.
So I'm thinking like 350, then like $100 for the bridge swap, and then $100 for pickups.
Well,
I guess that's 550.
Pickups a lot of times are a lateral upgrade.
Sure.
It's a side
Sure.
grade.
I'm giving them a little more leeway
The
from
mastery
a resale angle.
Yeah, the mastery is definitely an upgrade because you can replace the standard bridge for $30.
Yeah.
You can't do that with the pickups.
Correct. Right. You're right. I don't know.
And you can remove that mastery before you sell it.
You think if this guitar was like $600, you'd be like, I guess.
Yeah, I think if this guitar from this brand was $600,
Right.
I'd be
But,
like,
when it's
I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a unique.
But when it's
a
over
unique look.
$1,000, there's a certain implication that
You can
everything
get-
is being built on the level,
you can get really good guitars.
or it's at least being built by like the highest end. So MJT.
If you're gonna spend
Musicraft.
$1,200 on an offset,
Mm-hmm.
you can get an American Fender used.
True.
Why don't you go get an American Fender?
Because you're not gonna
offset
have this
used?
sick pink overspray on your neck. Sick,
Yeah,
bro.
you're not gonna have gummy Krylon all over your neck.
Gummy Krylon. That's my favorite kind of gummy.
You're not gonna have 35 branded into the headstock where you could have
36.
a classic Fender headstock logo.
What is 35? I want to know what the significance of 35 is.
Probably the age of the dude.
Trying to think of like professional athletes who are number 35.
I have no idea, dude.
I think was that Frank Thomas? Big Hurt? Was he you wouldn't know.
I have no idea, dude. All right.
Big Hurt.
We did it. Ad
Yeah.
week. You want to tell us some housekeeping before we get out of here and then play a song?
If
Make
you
this
enjoyed
the longest episode of
if you
the week?
enjoyed Ad Week, head on over to Joel, tell us about it on the group, leave a comment. If you want to support the show, head to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast. For as little as $1 a week, you can support the show. And this week we have at the $1 level, Mike Saramay,
Thank you, Mike.
and Caleb Richards.
Thank you, Caleb.
At the $5 level, we have Grant Gilmore.
Thank you, Grant.
And at the $10 level, we have Darren Schmize.
Welcome to the inner circle, Darren.
And so thanks, guys, for supporting the show. Our goal this year is to get to 100 supporters on Patreon. And
Steve's goal.
Once we do that,
It's not our
I
goal,
will
it's Steve's goal.
read off all of their names on this here podcast program.
Just so you know, crowdfunding, Patreon, stuff like this, it funds costs of the show.
All this stuff back here.
Whenever we do a project.
The structure back here, I should say.
Right. The structure of this room. Whenever we do a project that requires funds, whenever we need to buy equipment, whenever we need to pay for travel, the crowdfunding covers that. And Steve and I take a little bit of a salary out of it to cover our time producing this show.
Get our wives to shut up.
That's very rude, Steve. Our wives are very kind and gracious
That's true.
when
But
it comes to our silly little thing we do
the
here.
money helps grease that wheel.
The money puts diapers on babies, let's be honest.
Yeah.
All right, so big thanks to all our supporters. Big thanks to all our sponsors.
Let's be honest. Right now, the money's keeping me from getting a weekend pizza delivery route.
Weekend, I'm talking like weekday.
There's no pizza money on the weekdays.
You want to tell us about the song?
Oh yeah, this week's song is sent by Grant Stewart. Let me pull this up here. He is in a band called Slum Summer. This song is going to be called Trampoline. They're a local band to us.
This song is called Trampoline.
He says,
It's not going to be called Trampoline. It is called Trampoline.
I'd like to submit a song by the band I play bass in, for you to play at the end of one of your shows. I thought that it might be of special interest to you as I blended it. Excuse me.
You okay, Steve?
Yeah. I drank that water too fast. Blended in the
quick drinker.
50-50 prototype that I won at the taping of episode 200 to add a bit of grit to the bass. We are a purely by accident, half British, half American band from San Diego, and we'll be launching our debut album, ABO, at the Tower Bar on January 18th, which was like a month ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
We recorded the album over the last 18 months using the following equipment. Guitar and vocals are a Gibson SG, EHX Turnip Greens, Boss Feedbacker Booster, FB2, and a Marshall AVT 100. One of the guitars is a Rickenbacker 620, Earthquaker Ghost Echo Full Tone OCD, Cattle and Bread Wio. I've never known how to pronounce that one.
Yeah, me either.
It's the WIIO. That's actually, I think, one of Cattle and Bread's oldest pedals.
That's what it's called.
Fender Hot Rod Deluxe. And Grant, who, again, submitted the song, played a Fender Precision bass through a DoD 280 optical compressor, Pelican Noiseworks 5050, and an Ampeg PF 500. You can go check them out at slumsummer.com. He says it's a delightfully retro website. So now I'm going to have to go check that out.
Does it mean retro website as in like it's retro towards like the 50s or the 60s, or is it a retro website as in it's like geosites?
I hope it's GeoCities.
GeoCities.
Oh, it is GeoCities. Dude.
Yes.
That's way better than 50s, 60s.
It's got the Matrix background.
That is fan-friggin-tastic. Again, this song is called Trampoline. Grant says, keep up the good work and see you at number 300. We got to plan that 300th episode party,
in a
man.
year.
Less
40 weeks.
40-ish
39 weeks.
Because we got to record it ahead of time, right?
Yeah, 39 weeks, something like that.
Yep.
See you at the party. Later, guys.
Bye.
I put my last quarter in a pinball machine. I skidded almost straight into the gutter. Woke up there much later feeling vital and clean. Just a day like any other. You wrote your phone number on a napkin, as if anybody thought that that was cool. But then I spent that whole summer dressing like an old sea captain. Our first summer out of school. And when I found the ground was inconceivably hard, like the first step off a trampoline. And even this rock bottom couldn't stop me. There is nothing that can top this feeling. We saw the city at its best, made invisible by mist, each speaking to ourselves in a stage whisper. You were rehearsing your best reasons to exist. I was kidding around with your kid sister. But September smuggled in its promise of October, and the summer was over before it could end. And the time going by has left me older, or at least that's what we both like to pretend. And when I fell, the ground was inconceivably hard, like the first step